Been a minute, buddies. How's it going? It's Concert Buddy. My video I'm about to put forth to you, put your eyes on, is another video of 90s OG pickups.
Let's go!
Yes, more 90s OG pickups. What I score? Cue that lever. Let's get into it now. If you're new to the channel, first of all, thank you for checking it out. But if you're new to the channel, I'm big on collecting used records. I buy used, I buy new. But what I really like to get in, what I really find most collectible for me is like 90s records, particularly OGs, for a couple of reasons. One, it's the music I kind of came up on when I was coming of age, from a prepubescent teenager into high school and so forth. The other piece is they didn't press a lot of vinyl in the 90s, especially of 90s albums, because the format was kind of winding down or going into hibernation mode. CDs were rising to prominence. Napster at the end of the decade was coming, and the birth of the MP3 and file sharing and all that stuff. If you want more information, there's this thing called Google. Check it out.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
That's why I'm really drawn to 90s records and 90s OGs. I did another video, a while ago. I'll put a bing bong boom bum somewhere in the description, whatever, where I showed some OGs I picked up at that time. Pearl Jam 10, Soundgarden Super Unknown, etc. Well, I'm back, and I've got more to show you. And these are finds I just scored probably, let's call it in the last 2, maybe 3 months total, maybe like 10 weeks. How's that for a number? All right, let's get into it.
I'm getting ready to give you some pain, blues, and agony down on your household. You're going to pay the dues that are coming to you, baby.
So if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen this. I did like a teaser because I was extremely excited. This is 1994 from Bush, 16 Stone. Man, this one brings back a lot of memories. This is one of the ones that when it came out, I think I just got my driver's license, or it was a little bit after that. And I was playing this. My car was so busted. It's such a busted whip that I didn't even have a CD player. I didn't even have a radio. So I had to take my Discman, a CD player Discman, like a Walkman, and computer speakers, and play it in my car whenever I drove. Anyway, ghetto AF, okay? But this album, phenomenal album. Gavin Rossdale and crew, amazing. I got this beautiful copy, still with the hype sticker, in shrink. Not very easy to hunt down, but super happy. I got this actually on Amoeba's website. Used my patent discount code. I was able to get this for a song, so I was super pumped to add this to the collection.
Eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
I would totally be remiss doing any kind of 90s OGs video at all if I didn't feature arguably one of my favorite top 10 albums, period. End of story. Pass, go, collect $200. And that is 1994, also 1994. Throwing Copper from the band Live, the boys from Pennsylvania. They actually had an album that came out before this called Mental Jeweler that I really enjoy a lot. But this is the one that shot them to 90s alt-rock superstardom, full of bangers. I mean, when they made this album, Ed Kowalczyk still had hair. If you look at some of the album art, he actually has hair. I think he even has long hair. But you probably know Ed as having the shaved head, which I can obviously sympathize with. But so many great hits on this song. Obviously, the biggest is the anthemic Lightning Crashes. But even hits like I Alone, All Over You. One of my favorites, it's kind of a deep cut, is Shit Town, kind of talking about coming from like backwoods environments and so forth. But man, I love everything about this album. It actually has been reissued a couple times. I think the 25th anniversary being the most recent. I think it even came out like a deluxe edition on red and green wax. But this one is an OOOG that has taken me a long time to hunt down. This is a really decent copy. It's a little warped, so I'm probably going to take it into the surgeon, to Warp Doctor, see if I can get that taken care of. It plays, but it's still got a little. So as important of an album as this is to me, I really am trying to aim to get it nice and flat as much as I can. But anyway, so excited that I picked this one up recently. What can I say? Another tremendous 90s OG score. This is Soul Asylum's classic album, Grave Dancers Union. You notice it's still in shrink. Terrific condition. This one has been reissued several times, I think for Record Store a couple years ago. Vinyl Move Please did a recent reissue on like a marble type wax, really nice execution. But this is the OG of OGs. Man, I can't even tell you. 1992 was how long ago that this one came out. But, you know, obviously the big signature hit off this one is Runaway Train. And if you were not aware, you know, there was a campaign behind this music video, MTV, back in the day, before they sold out to reality television and nonsense. We're putting out really provocative music videos, companion video pieces that accompany the music and gave you more of an attachment to the music, made it mean more, if you will. But these guys did a video. They're from Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, and they, you know, made the song Runaway Train talking about runaways, because there was a real, I wouldn't say epidemic, it's probably not the right word, but there is a real problem with youth running away from home, and some would never be heard from again. Anyway, they made the song about it, and the video is really powerful, and it actually helped create some momentum behind this topic. And I mean, this, you know, it's one of those things that music really can be a change for good, a change agent for good. Anyway, it's enough blabbering. Another song I really enjoy on here is called Somebody to Shove. It's just like a punk, high energy-ish kind of fueled, just, you know, and I think what the spirit of the song is, I don't know like the ethos behind it, but it's just like, you know, back when you go to concerts, particularly in like club settings, you know, the mosh pits were friendly-ish. I mean, obviously you were kind of bumping into people and slamming into people before they turned into like this body slam contest kind of stuff. Somebody to Shove was just kind of like a release, like get in the pit and just enjoy the music and just be like the fellowship that the original mosh pits used to be. It's enough talking about that. Tremendous pickup. Again, super pumped about this one. Another stone cold classic of the 90s, and actually a record I already have. I think I even might have featured this in my OGs video before, so I apologize for recycling content, but I'll explain why I'm showing this one again. This is obviously 1991, I believe, is when this came out. This is Nevermind, the classic alt-rock rocket ship from Nirvana, recorded at Sound City Studios. You know, obviously this is the first major release with Dave Grohl on drums. Oh boy, 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 so much you could talk about. I already have an OG of this, the original US pressing. This is the original European pressing, and I recently featured this in my video. I actually picked this up in Tacoma, Washington. I have a video about record store road tripping. Do yourself a favor, check it out. Link here, description, etc. But you're saying, well, you've already got an OG, you've already got the 30th anniversary, you've got the Bernie Cut 2013. What's so special about this? Well, the hobby can become kind of a sickness sometimes, because then you start collecting these little nuanced things. And what's special about this one is that, you know, on the inner sleeve, here's the traditional inner sleeve. First thing is a call out of a misprint. If you look closely right here, it should say mastered by Howie Weinberg. Instead, it says mazered by Howie Weinberg, but it wasn't the only misprint on this. So you have your traditional side, and then you have this. And you're saying, okay, what's the big deal? Well, actually, this artwork is upside down. This little monkey fellow and the words are actually supposed to be like this. So similar to what's called baseball card collecting and the Billy Ripken infamous Fleer, I think it's 92 baseball card with the profanity on the knob. This is the kind of goofy shit that really makes collecting records both ridiculous and also fun at the same time. So I'm very happy to pick this one up recently. Another Nevermind in the collection.
Get your ass to Mars.
So I feel kind of bad kind of being a recycle king on that Nirvana Nevermind. So let's throw in a little bonus activity if you've made it this far in the video. Last record I'm going to show for my 90s OGs pickups is one of my favorite movies, period, but also one of my favorite Arnold movies is Total Recall, 1990 sci-fi classic about Douglas Quaid and a case of mistaken identity. It's got, you know, action, it's got space, it's got time travel-ish kind of properties. Awesome movie, just awesome movie. I know they made a remake with Colin Farrell. Straight trash. I haven't even watched it. I don't watch these recycled remakes because how can you top this? Give the people the air. I mean, how can you top this? First, get your ass to Mars. There's so many of these bad Arnold impressions I could do right now. I'm going to stop right there.
If I'm not me, who the hell am I?
What's interesting about this is the only place you could pick this up time specific or age specific, vintage specific, is this 1990 European copy. So it's a Varese Sarabande label, but the music was composed by Jerry Goldsmith, who's done so many soundtracks over the years. So much fun and such a cool ass cover. Look at this, Arnold. Amazing. I mean, I know they reissued this. I think Mondo or one of those labels redid the music part of this, but nothing compares to this badass cover. Don't you think?
Look who's talking.
Buddies, that's all she wrote. More 90s OGs into the collection. What do you think? Treasures, trash, somewhere in between? Tell me below in the comments. Any of these excite you, fright you? I know that Arnold one, the bad Arnold impersonations. I'm sorry, it just comes out of me sometimes. Would love to hear what you have to say. If you picked up any 90s OGs in the last few months or have in your collection period, tell me in the comments below. Thank you, as always, for watching these goofy videos, for subscribing, supporting Vinyl Community Podcasts. Cheap plug. All these goofy things I got going on right now in the vinyl community. But thank you for spending your time with me, with this video, and in the community at large. And collecting records, it's the best part, right? So, when you get the chance to listen to some of these 90s bangers, just spin it. See you soon.
Well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.